TV app in the respective app store on iOS and Android, and ZingoTV. They're also available on Roku Sticks, Amazon Fire TV Sticks, Google Chromecast, and all smart TVs 2016 forward. Welcome to a special edition of Ask Me Anything featuring Aaron Stevens with Mark Freitas, newest comer to Barnburner, and Giancarlo Alino. Aaron, first of all, I got to ask you, it's Christmas next week, okay? I didn't get my Christmas present. I didn't get my Hanukkah present. I didn't get my Kwanzaa present. I know it's delayed from Malibu, but what's going on with you?
Well, I think that I don't know if the presidents have gotten their vaccine yet. So I think you need a vaccine to cross country lines. That's my only. And happy Hanukkah, by the way, Joe.
Yes, thank you. Right now it's finished. Right now it's over.
Today's the last, correct?
Sorry? Today is the last day, yes. It just finished it. I didn't even get my present from Giancarlo also. I'm very upset at this. You know,
Amazon is taking a long time. FedEx, that's in their hands now.
All right, so speak about this, Aaron. Since this is sort of a holiday show, right? We're not going to be doing this for a couple weeks, thank God, right, Aaron? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm off here.
Yes, that's my present.
What is your I guess holiday tradition, Christmas tradition or whatever? You go back home to Boston?
No, it's funny. I was actually just having this conversation with someone today. And I was born in Massachusetts. A lot of people may know that. And it's not Boston. I have the one stoplight town, North Oxford, Massachusetts. And that's where the family is. And, usually, actually now I'm usually back home and snowmobiling, splitting wood, lighting fires, shooting guns, all the fun stuff. But I actually, with the way the world is now, I decided it's just better if I stay here. And, again, me personally, I am not worried about getting the virus. I'm worried about spreading it to someone. And, with my family, I mean, there's so many of us, I wouldn't just be sitting at home. So Massachusetts is a hot spot for it now too, as well. So I just kind of made a decision. I'm bummed out about it, but, I'm going to lay low, lay here in the boo, and just, have a quiet Christmas, which I'm spending Christmas with a very, very small group of people that I see almost every day. And, just laying low.
A big question, and I'll get to Mark in a second. Big question. Are you going to skateboard this holiday season?
Ryan Nemeth may, but not me.
All right. Mark, do you want to ask any questions of Aaron?
Not at the top of my head right now. I gotta come back to me. I'll see what.
All right. So, Giancarlo, any questions to your good friend Aaron Stevens?
Oh yeah, Aaron. Just I guess a follow up to our conversation last week. You put something out there about Hershey's, that commercial. Has there been any update to that?
Yes, actually, just last night I saw the original Hershey Kiss commercial, and again, that was I actually made a tweet about the Hershey Kiss commercial back in it was like October or late November, mid-November, something like that. And it's not the holidays until you see the Hershey's Kiss commercial. It's been going strong since '89, and then when I saw what happened, it starts off great, and then it goes into the whole remix thing, and I wasn't okay with that. And I heard a lot of people were not okay with it. And that's nothing against the actors in the commercial or anything like that. It's simply like, why are you screwing with tradition? This year of all years. But Hershey's released a statement and it said, we're going to air both commercials. They did. So I'm very much at peace with it.
All right. So is that your favorite chocolate to get on Christmas?
I'm not really discriminatory when it comes to chocolate, to be honest with you.
Okay. Since again, it's the holiday, what's your best Christmas gift that you got?
I'll say in recent history, it was definitely an iPad because I've used it so much. So we'll say that. It's just funny. I don't know. I'm definitely more. I enjoy giving and kind of making other people's day. That's always been kind of my thing.
So what's the best present you got?
Kid. When you're a kid, it's just gimme. But No, I like when someone says, "Oh, what do you want to get for Christmas?" I'm like, I just don't want anything. I mean, I don't need anything, and yeah, that's it.
All right. What's the present you gave?
Bought my dad a motorcycle.
You bought your dad a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Was it a Harley? Was it a Harley?
Yep. It was a Harley, and then when I was home in 6 months, it was a Yamaha. He went behind my back and exchanged it. Not too happy with him. And I was like, with my mom, I'm going like, you didn't tell me this. She goes, oh, well, that's what he wanted. I'm like, Mom, I bought him a Harley. That was the whole thing, because he always had Hondas growing up. But you know what? He's happy, and that's all good. So,
Hey, have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, Giancarlo, go ahead. Your next one.
Yeah, just on top of like the gift giving, like when you were younger, was there like this thing where like a lot of people do gift exchanges, they put each other's names in it. Is that like something you did when you were little, or did you have some other tradition?
With family, we get each other gifts, and it's funny because my family has a tendency to do things to excess, whether it's cooking or gifting. Everyone gets gifts for everyone else, and then we do what's called a Yankee swap on top of it, where everyone brings a gift, and then you draw numbers, you put numbers in a hat, mess them up, and then you go, and one person opens a present, and then if you get a number after that, you can exchange it if you like someone else's gift, and you give them your gift. So it's pretty good.
That sounds fun.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a question in wrestling. During this time of year, I'm sure Raw and AEW next week are going to have a Santa Claus match. Santa Claus is going to come out and all that. Have you ever portrayed Santa Claus in a wrestling ring?
Yes, Mark Henry and I in Austin, Texas. It was good Santa versus bad Santa in the battle for Christmas.
And who won?
Good Santa won. Christmas was not canceled.
All right. And what was the biggest gimmick that you had when you were wrestling in a wrestling ring during this time, the holiday time?
The biggest gimmick?
Yeah. Well, come on, Aaron. You know what I mean.
Like, God,
you can't be dressed up Santa Claus 365 days a year. Come on.
Yeah, I'll say that. It was like, I was going to cancel Christmas. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Cancel. So you're the Grinch, eh? You're canceling Christmas.
Pretty much.
I wish 2020 was canceled. Put it that way. All right, Mark, any questions?
Yeah, I was actually for a wrestling one. I was asking, speaking about like going into gimmicks here. What was it like doing the gimmick every week where you'd come out as a different persona? Like one week you came out as McMahon, and then I'm trying to remember. I remember you came out as Mr. McMahon, and then I forgot what you kept coming out as. Like you came out as a different character every week. I enjoyed that. So what was it like doing that?
Oh, thank you. No, that was a lot of fun. A lot of guys would view that as a punishment, and I just viewed it as creative. Didn't know what else to do. They didn't really put a lot of thought, so I said, okay, well, I'm just going to make this the best I can. And it was every week you show up to the arena, you don't know what you're doing, but you do your best.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like those were entertaining because the way you did them, like they were funny and like
Thank
it
you.
was good. And like I like the one that I like too is when you came out with the basketball net, and Big Show came out, and yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, Giancarlo, we got to start with his favorite subject, Cobra Kai. Go ahead, Giancarlo.
Oh yeah, just did you see that trailer? What are your thoughts on the new season with Chosen in there?
It's gotta be big. It's gonna be. I mean, Kreese and Chosen in the same. Can you imagine? What would happen? Yeah, I can't wait. That's really 2021 off the runway. That's how messed up 2020. We didn't even get a season of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Speaking about NWA and everything, primetime live there. You lost the national championship. I know it happened in October, but you lost it this week. Yep. All right. Now.
No, over. We've already had this discussion, Joe.
I know, but I got to read Mark's here. I got to, this is the year-end edition of Ask Me Anything, okay? So it's the year-end edition. But now you're the tag team champion, all right? You go for national champion. So you're a 3-time, okay, a Mongrovian or triple whatever belt Mongrovian champion. I know that gimmick is buried. Now you're a tag team champion. Are you still doing Mongrovian karate?
Well, it's a practice that you never get out of. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. But right now I think we're moving into other things. You never quite lose.
It looks like we just lost. Okay, go ahead. We just lost you for 2 seconds, Aaron. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Again, more of a lifestyle, and you never quite lose the karate, but it's time to kind of explore other options and move on. I mean, one thing I am very gimmick or character fluid, which there's not a lot of wrestlers that can say that. So we'll see what's next, and I suggest you all stay tuned.
In 2021, all right, I'm going to say, what's your New Year's resolution?
God, stop and smell the roses and appreciate everything.
Giancarlo, same question.
Well, for me, I guess same thing. I'll go with Aaron. He made a nice answer there. It was
No, you can't copy questions. Come on, you can't copy answers. Come on.
Yeah, New Year's resolution. Just I guess continue doing what I'm doing. Hopefully to the best of my ability and improve in all aspects. I guess that's the only thing I can really add to that.
So, Aaron, you see Mark's shirt there. It's Bret the Hitman Hart. Any good stories about Bret Hart?
Me, him, and Jericho reenacted the Montreal screw job. I believe it was somewhere like Ottawa or something like that. And it was very surreal. I remember Chris and I kind of like looked at each other afterwards and like, we were like, did we just do that in Canada? Like we made a mockery out of that with Bret the Hitman Hart. And he goes, yeah, we did. So that was it. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
And okay, so Aaron, you started late this year as sort of, I don't know if I'm going to call you the booker or matchmaker or behind the scenes, let's say, all right?
Mm-hmm.
How, and I asked you this before, okay? How you liking it? And do you think you could do that for years to come? Or is there still a drive that you want to finish wrestling, I guess, retire before you retire, finish in something that you never done before?
It's funny because you and I were talking a while ago. Like, I think I needed to be honest with myself, and I did not end my career the way I wanted it to. And I think now, in the next few years, I need to prove something to me, and it's not like, I don't need to prove anything to anyone else anymore because what someone puts a fake title on you because they like you, and that this isn't to take away from any championship. It is an honor and it's a privilege to get any championship, and it does mean something. It absolutely does. And I do have my sights set on a couple of world titles, but to me, it's just I need to prove something to me, and I'm not even sure what that is yet. So we shall see. That's all.
You feel you still have something to prove?
Yeah, I do. And it's again, to absolutely no one but me anymore. I don't need to do this for any other reason than I want to do it. So that's I'm not going to get too deep into my psyche here, but that's something that's a mental state I haven't been in for a while, like ever. So we're going to see.
All right. I know you got to go in the next couple of minutes. So around the horn, I'm going to ask one more question. But yesterday on AEW, your former tag team partner, Cody Rhodes, revealed that him and his wife, Brandy, are expecting. So anything you want to say on camera, on the network here to Cody Rhodes?
Big congrats to both of them. That's wonderful. I think they'll make wonderful parents, and I'll shoot them a text.
All right. Giancarlo, go ahead with your final question of the year to Aaron Stevens.
Yeah, just I went on YouTube before our conversation last week, and I was looking at some of your old stuff, and some of your tryout matches are on there. Somebody in the Killer Kowalski Wrestling Academy had all these students as matches. Just curious, do you ever go back and see some of your matches, and I guess the established version of yourself? If you go back there, are you evaluating it differently?
No, I don't watch myself. I don't enjoy watching myself. I don't care to watch myself, and I don't know unless I am instructed to by someone that signs a paycheck if I will ever watch myself. To be quite honest with you, I'm sorry if that was a letdown, but I just
No
no.
worries.
Okay, Mark, go ahead.
Well, do you think he'll ever come back to the WWE in the future? Maybe
I'll
one-
answer that, Aaron. I'll answer that. All right. No, unless the money is right, but he won't. I'm your advocate. All right. No, unless the money's right. Vince, if you're hearing, part of his deal goes to me, so it's $6 million a year. He's worth it. Put it
Well,
that.
I'd hope he'd come back just to win the Money in the Bank and then actually win it this time, cash it in and win the title.
That was a sore. That's a sore subject. Do not speak about that. All right. Thank you. All right.
But I highly doubt that will happen.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Aaron, I know you got to leave, but any last thoughts? It's last show of the year. Anything to the millions and millions of fans here celebrating the holiday?
Made it through.
Sorry,
We made it through 2020. We're only getting better, and we will see you in 2021. Thank you all for listening.
and Aaron, don't forget here. Come on, tell everybody how to get a hold of you. You got to build up the Instagram and everything. Come on.
Oh, yes. You can get a hold of me on Instagram at The Aaron Files. That's TheAron Files. Or on Twitter at Aaron's Thoughts, ARONS Thoughts.
And for fans watching, Aaron Stevens, not only he's an amazing wrestler, but he's an even better person. And I'm happy to call him one of my friends. Don't say thank you. I'm not finished yet. I'm happy. I'm happy to call him one of my friends. All the best throughout the holiday season to you, your family, and everything. And honestly, and Giancarlo could say this, anytime we call up Aaron, he's there. He's a class act. And guys who are watching this throughout the wrestling world and not through the wrestling world, I know he's a movie star also. You get everything and more. This guy has heart and class when it comes to world professional wrestling and in life. So anybody who wants Aaron Stevens, drop him a line. Aaron follows the Aaron Thoughts on Twitter. Drop him a line. He doesn't disappoint. Aaron, thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. All the best to you and your family.
Yes, and your rate just went up to 15%. Huh? Wow.
Don't tell that to Giancarlo, all right? Don't tell that to Giancarlo, all right? Thanks a lot, Aaron. All the best.
Thank you all.
All right. No problem. That was Aaron Stevens. Great wrestler and person there. Giancarlo, what did you think of your friend, Aaron Stevens?
I think it's great to have him on and just hearing his perspectives on stuff. You hear a lot of wrestlers, especially from WWE, that they have a lot of different opinions of the business. And I think Aaron's opinions are refreshing. Someone who doesn't really take himself too seriously like a lot of other guys. He has no ego like those guys. So it's really down to earth to talk to him, and it's great to hear him.
All right, Mark, it's your first time talking to, I believe, a wrestler and seeing him. I know it's virtually, but what are your thoughts?
No, he's a very nice guy, very nice. Like Giancarlo said, he's very down to earth and everything else like that. So it was pretty cool to have him on the show today. And honestly, I still stand by what I said. He should have won the world championship in 2013 there.
Yes, we're all in agreement for that. Now, Giancarlo, I know this is a wrestling show, but we got to talk about the background of Mark there. It's Matt Sundin.
I like it. I love it.
Giancarlo's is a big Elite fan. So, and Bret Hart shirt. Any thoughts about, any comments about Mark's room there, the Maple Leaf Cave, put it that way?
Yeah, I love it. Matt Sundin, that's the first thing I saw when he joined here, and Matt Sundin was my favorite player. Loved Matt Sundin, so that's a great jersey to have.
It's funny you say that, so I'll show you real quick here. A couple days ago, I put up that's autographed by him on the wall there. So so that one's an authentic autograph because I had a friend his mom, or my friend's mom, used to be his housekeeper, so she got us a few autographs when he was playing. So I just put that up a few days ago, and then over there I put up my Austin Matthews Willie Nylander drawing that I got at the X last year. So Yeah.
And we're going to have big news about the NHL on Barn Burner Live, the year-end spectacular Barn Burner Live after the wrestling show. All right, since now, you see, I had asked me anything. Now I switched it to the wrestling show. Let's talk about wrestling, and then we're going to preview the TLC pay-per-view this Sunday. All right, Giancarlo, both you guys do a great job writing and do the shows here for the wrestling. Let's first start off with Raw. Giancarlo, what did you like about Raw?
Nothing. Not a
Really?
whole lot. You see Randy Orton, like I see what they're doing with him and the Fiend, but I just don't think that it's gonna have that same outcome they want. Randy Orton, it looks like he's supposed to be the face in this. I don't know what they're doing with the Fiend. It's a lot of confusing stuff. Now we find out they're gonna have an Inferno match, so it's just all up in the air for those two.
All right, nothing good about Raw. And Raw scored the lowest rating ever. Put it this way, AEW beat Raw last week. Put it that way. All right, Mark, anything you want to talk about Raw?
On Raw, here's my thing. Like, I thought it was a decent show. I didn't think it was that bad. Like I thought, like in my opinion, I think the Fiend and Randy angle, that was actually cool. Because like I kind of like was like expecting maybe he would come out of the box, and then he did. But like it was cool because it's kind of like, all right, so what's it gonna take to stop the Fiend? But like I also agree with Giancarlo, where it's like who's the face and who's the heel? Because I don't know if you noticed, but like I guess when Randy was attacking Bray, like we had cheers in the background, and then the cheers like changed to boos when Randy was like setting the thing on fire, and like it is confusing to know like, who's the heel and who's the face. But I must say, Matt Riddle is awesome.
You want the bro nuts. You like the bro nuts, don't
I
you?
like the bro nuts.
You like the bro nuts.
I
I know
also
Giancarlo likes it too.
I just love the segment of Bray. Hey, bro. No, it is Bray. Like, it's so simple, but it makes you laugh. And it's like, then Rambling Rabbit shows up and his voice changed too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. He grew up. But no, like, I like what they're doing with Riddle. Like, it's funny. I don't know. It's something different, I guess. But,
all right.
yeah.
So let's get to Mark. You'll start us off with NXT.
Yeah, I want to
was
really
actually good this week, and especially Pete Dunne. Oh, what
that match. So obviously, I don't know if you like, yesterday when I was talking about the show, and I've said on the NXT playback for the audio, I said that they've had hot and cold weeks, or 1 week's hot and 1 week's cold. So yesterday was like really good, and that match with Dunn and O'Reilly was brutal, and I think it went on for like 45 minutes. And what I liked about that match was it was just a straight fight. There was like no like interference. It was just a straight match. And even like in the beginning of the match where all the tag teams really took out each other, like it was cool. And Dunn and O'Reilly staring each other down. Like that was awesome. And the whole thing was fantastic. And the right person, like to me, whoever won would be the right person. But O'Reilly winning is good because he gets his rematch with Balor.
Yeah.
But for Pete Dunne,
Killer Cross, like forget about Killer Cross. I
yeah.
Charlotte is my new future wife. Although Mandy Rose is right there, right? And, Mandy Rose is right there. But Killer Cross are really. I'm looking forward to Killer Cross and Priest. They're January 6th, New Year's Evil, gonna be a good.
That should be a good match. You know what? If you think about it, those two guys are heavy hitters, and they can not even do a singles match, obviously, but you could make like an Extreme Rules or something. I think it'd be cool. Like they're brutal guys, Havoc and Vicious. The only thing I didn't like on the show yesterday was I didn't like the first match with the tag match of Leon Ruff and Kushida, because like, what's the point of having Leon Ruff in the match if you're just gonna have him get decimated by like everyone? Really, like you can get
That's
off.
why. That's the point, because he's still not an established guy in NXT, right? Tommaso Ciampa's that match was.
Oh my god, that match was good too. Like Ciampa, like
Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano with Candice LeRae, and they're doing some good stuff. And New Year's Evil is going to be really good. Now,
it's looking really good. Yeah,
Giancarlo, I know you cover AEW. Boy, the intrigue with Sting coming out and congratulations. Honestly, we mentioned this with Aaron, but congratulations to Cody and Brandy on getting pregnant. I don't know what do you say. Congratulations, but Cody being saved again by Sting. but Sting having an eye for Darby Allin, who's sitting up there like Sting used to in WCW. What is Sting doing with Cody? And then it looks like they're gonna build to a match with Sting and Darby Allin, but Darby Allin's the TNT champion. Are you telling me they're putting Darby Allin over Sting?
I think they're gonna put them together because the way they interact, that stare down, and he seems to come out when he knows Darby Allin's there with Cody. So I think this is something where Taz and his guys, they're gonna see Sting and like, you know what? Let's leave now. This is between them because I think they know that Sting has plans that he wants to go after Cody for some reason. I don't know what it is. This is why it's so intriguing, like you mentioned there, that they're interacting like that. So I think Sting's going to bring up something maybe from the past, how he may have helped Cody or something. But Art Anderson, I think, is another interesting factor in this because he also can't really wrestle. Like him and Sting are in the same boat here. So it's going to be interesting how they utilize them as managers, but also have some physical altercation with them to put them in the feud. So they're going to have to get really creative on that. But I think Sting and Art Anderson, those are two guys that can get the job done.
Hey, Giancarlo, I have a question for you. Your earphones, do they actually work, or are you doing like what Orange Cassidy did, just putting the earphones and not even in it and all that? What's going on with that? But anyways, let's talk about Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, the champion of AEW, but showing up on Impact Wrestling, then fighting on AEW. And for those who don't know, January 16th, Impact Wrestling, Hard to Kill, Kenny Omega reforms the Bullet Club against Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns, there. A good 6-man tag main event, but Kenny Omega has another match December 30th, and it's going to be a good match, right, Giancarlo?
Yeah, definitely Ray Phoenix, Kenny Omega. So I'm looking forward to that. I think they should have done Pac versus Kenny Omega, though, because I think Ray Phoenix is an amazing competitor, great singles guy, but they're still having him with Pentagon and Pac. So I think it's just they're not going full out with that singles run like Impact did with those two. So I think Kenny's going to win that. But I think we'll see something to end the year where the Good Brothers will come up to AEW and the Bullet Club will get reformed with the Young Bucks and Kenny.
All right, so that brings me to the next question. Impact Wrestling with AEW. This is a win-win for Impact Wrestling, but what does it do for AEW? Mark?
It gets them out there more. It gets AEW out there more, and it'll make people want to tune in to AEW the next night. So, example, like Kenny shows up to Impact, something goes down. Oh, I want to see what happens next. I'll tune in to AEW tomorrow, right? So just it's good for them because it extends their brand more.
Yeah, but nobody watches Impact Wrestling, so if they're going to go to Impact Wrestling, so that's I understand. Okay,
that's true. Yeah, I mean, but then if how to put like this, nobody will say we have like you have the hardcore Impact fan who doesn't watch AEW, and then he sees all that going on. Like, okay, now I want to tune in, and then he'll probably tell
when's the last time, Giancarlo? When's the last time you watched Impact Wrestling?
On a week-to-week basis, probably when Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were there.
So that's about 3 years ago. Not
like 10 years ago.
Daniel Spencer, who's a referee for them, is he's texting me right now. Get Giancarlo off the show here, okay? So that's number one there. All right, but are you looking forward to, because it's not a one-time deal. This is going to go throughout the year with Impact Wrestling AEW. So what do you think? What matches, if I give you the book, what matches would you like to see between the two organizations? Giancarlo first.
Well, yeah, I think this is great for both because a lot of guys that started AEW came from Impact. Their contracts came up and they saw a bigger payday with AEW. So I think the continuity there, like look at Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, LAX even. So I think they have a lot of guys that have roots there and it makes a transition, the partnership good. But I want to see Ken Shamrock in AEW. I think this guy deserves it. He's done a lot in the indie scene, done a lot in the Attitude Era when he came over from the UFC. We had him on here. He's a great guy. I just want to see that for him. He's 56 years old, 57. Want to see him get maybe revenge on Chris Jericho 20 years later.
All right, Mark.
From Impact, honestly, I love the last time I watched it was I remember RVD's still there, correct?
Sort of.
Sort of on and off. But
yeah.
anyway, no.
But I don't blame RVD. He's with Katie Forbes, and
Yeah.
shaking
No,
it.
but
Put it that
honestly,
way.
I as much even though he's older, like I'd still love to see RVD and AW cross from Impact. I'd like to see him probably take on Moxley. I think that'd be a good match. Like it'd be like a brutal match because extreme, right? So I'm kind of an extreme wrestling guy, as you could tell, and for matches.
Extreme. You mentioned extreme. What about Giancarlo? What about having an ECW guy take on a WCW guy, take on an Impact Wrestling guy, take on an AEW guy? What about? We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that. All right, Giancarlo. How about that? Does that excite you? Knowing the ECW guy that Impact Wrestling has is the one and only Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but if that star power, like no offense, like Tommy Dreamer just had a great career, but if you have the choice between Tommy Dreamer and RVD to represent the brand, I would go with RVD. Would make it a bigger match. If you put Tommy Dreamer, yeah, he's had a great career, but how much can he really do physically against some of these top guys? So I think in terms of the full match and the build, it might not have the same impact they want, but it could be interesting if they have Taz and Tommy Dreamer and really build it up that way. So I would be excited for that.
Well, you mentioned something good with AEW. You mentioned Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, now with Sting, and don't forget Taz there. Between those guys, the managers who can't wrestle, that's a match.
Yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts too. Like they have a lot of Vicky Guerrero, like an
Excuse
embarrassment
me.
of riches.
Excuse me. Never mind. And what about like going back to AEW 1 second? I'm telling you, the biggest name in the ladies circuit in 2021, Jade Cargill. She gave me $20. Look at her body. Jade Cargill is going to be the biggest name in wrestling. All right. So before we get to the on the mat preview here of TLC, I'm going to ask you, give me one or a couple. Start with you, Mark. Give me one thought or prediction for 2021 in WWE, in Impact, and AEW.
In 2021. Oh, let's see here. This one's for WWE.